Today we take a look at this question that I'm often asked. What makes a great leader? What are some of the qualities, characteristics, and attributes that makes a great leader? We'll take a look at that as welcome to the 30. This is episode 220. Let's go. Well, hello there, gang. Welcome to the 30. I am your host, Patrick. I am glad that you are here joining me. We're going to find out. Looks like I have some background noise going on here. Let's see where we are. But we're going to be talking today about what it takes or what makes a great leader. We're going to explore that today on the 30. The 30, of course, is a production of the Jackman Group LLC. It's our weekly live broadcast where we focus primarily on giving you information, knowledge, giving you everything that you need to help enhance your personal, your professional, and spiritual lives. We today are going to be talking about specifically what makes a great leader. This is a question that I get a lot over my years of training and developing and coaching leaders. I've also asked that question of myself. What makes a great leader? What are some of the attributes and what are the characteristics or behaviors that goes into making someone a great leader? And you've heard me talk about some of this over the past 4 years as we explore more about leadership, effective leaders, what goes into taking someone from a good leader to a great leader to an exceptional leader. But I'm going to talk about it from a different angle. I did some research today as I was we were talking about, and from our community, we were talking about this, and I researched and I sent some information out to the Impact Leaders Connect community about this very topic. What makes a great leader? So it can be complicated, right? That's the first thing that you should know, is that this question can be very complicated. How so? Well, it can be complicated because depending on who you ask, you may get one answer from one person. You may get a completely different answer from someone else. And to further complicate it, depending on the timing. So if you were alive 100 years ago and you asked someone this same question, what makes a good leader or a great leader, you may get one answer. If you ask someone this question maybe in the 1980s, you might have received another answer. If you ask someone, let's say in 2019, prior to COVID, you might get another answer. And then today, if you ask someone the same question currently, what makes a great leader, you may get a completely different answer. So I like to say it's complicated based on the time frame, but also based on who you ask, based on their experiences. So we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to talk about some of the basic things, some of the fundamental attributes or characteristics that goes into making, where we say what makes a great leader. And, and then from my research, I'm going to talk about something that I found today in the Harvard Business Review. So we're going to talk about that towards the end. But with the backdrop in terms of a definition of a great leader, and that's defined as someone having the ability to inspire, guide, and empower others toward a common goal. So, with that foundation, with that understanding, let's take a look at some of the key qualities that define a great leader. And this is something that we all know or should know. So these are basic things. But then I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to transition and get into a little bit more about, or take it a step further according to my research. So let's start with some of the basic things, right? The first one is when we look at it in terms of key qualities of a great leader is a person that's what we call a visionary thinker. So a great leader sees the destination before anyone else. That's number one, a visionary thinking. So I have an outlook. So they see things before anyone else, and they guide team towards it with clarity and confidence. So that's number one. So when we look at it, right, we see if you want to consider yourself a great leader or exceptional leader, you generally see things differently. We sometimes say leaders are visionaries. And that's what we're talking about. You're seeing things beyond what anyone else can see currently. The second quality that define a great leader is one who has tremendous emotional intelligence. Leaders who understand the importance of EQ, who can connect their team on a deeper level. One who is making them more, and this will make them more effective in both inspiring and leading or managing their team. So when we talk about EQ or emotional intelligence, right, is someone basically who understands, who has the ability to understand their own emotion, but also the emotions of others that they lead or that they come in contact with. So that's number two. Number three is a leader who has the ability to communicate openly. And what this does is build trust and ensures an alignment between all parties. So we're talking about someone who is effective in their communication skills, has the ability to communicate more effectively with others. So when, as a leader, if you have that ability to communicate within your team members or with your team members. No, I didn't say to your team members, but communicate with your team members. The bottom line is that encourages and helps you to build trust within them. Now, it's just not communication alone that leads to trust within your team, but there's some other things that goes into building trust within your team. It could be being transparent, could be being open. All right. As a leader, I talk a lot about leaders setting the atmosphere within or the environment where trust has a chance to grow. Where leaders are responsible, has a responsibility to help to move trust along through being vulnerable, being open and being vulnerable to their teams. And that goes a long way in building trust within your team. But the first thing is in order to build trust is to have the ability to communicate clearly and openly with your team or team members. This inspires action within your team. The next one is leading with a sense of integrity. Another quality is leading with a sense of integrity. And what integrity does is that it forms the foundation. When we talk about trust, integrity forms the foundation of trust within the team. We hear so much about leaders and character and integrity. So what when we look at integrity, integrity simply means doing the right thing. Doing the right thing when people are looking, or even when people are not looking, when people are around, or when they're not around. You're simply doing the right thing. So leaders with integrity earn respect from their team members, earn respect from others around them, and trust is developed. So without true leadership, without integrity, true integrity, leadership cannot be achieved. Real leadership cannot be achieved because others may see sometimes what we do is that we pretend to have integrity, character and integrity. But if it's true character and integrity, it's true integrity, doing the right thing when no one else is watching, it simply builds trust within your team. And without it, true leadership cannot be achieved. The next one is empowerment and delegation. I talk a lot about this, the importance of or the ability to empower and delegate. One cannot go without the other. In order to delegate, you first have to empower. So when we talk about empowerment and delegation, as a key ingredient or key attribute for making a great leader, we're looking at is empowering others. And not, I didn't say controlling others, which is different, but we're talking about empowering others and relinquishing control, giving it up to others, where you relinquish control and pass whatever is a task onto others, realizing that they may not do it like you, but what you're doing is empower them and then delegating them. You're trusting them to do whatever is asked of them. You're not micromanaging them, but you're empowering them. You're empowering them and delegating what needs to be given or to be done to or with your team member or your team members. The question that I asked initially in the description is making a great leader, is it about resilience? And that's another piece, right? Because it's not just resilience. Resilience is one aspect of making a great leader. So when we look at another key part of making a great leader, we're talking about resilience. True leadership shines in times of difficulty. We all go through some challenging times. If you are a tenured leader, if you have led teams, or if you have led a person or teams for any period of time, you realize that there is going to be some time where you're going to go through some challenges, some difficulties, sometimes where your leadership is being challenged, sometimes where your leadership is being questioned. So being resilient during those times of difficulty or challenge goes a long way in making a great leader. See, a resilient leader provides the strength and the optimism a team needs to push through. I'll say that again. A resilient leader provides the strength and optimism a team needs to push forward during the times of great challenge or great difficulty. So those are some of the things. Those are some of the key qualities I call them, that goes into defining a great leader. But now I want to make a switch because I was doing some research to, today, and I came across uh, an article that was written in the Harvard Business Review. I want to make sure that I have it correctly here. And the topic was exactly what I wanted to talk about. What makes a great leader? So we talk about the traditional things, right? We talk about the traditional keys. Those are the things that I just discussed that all of us should have or should exhibit when we talk about making a great leader. So my research for this, as well as the research that I did for our Impact Leaders Connect community, which you should be part of, by the way, I invite you to be part of our Impact Leaders Connect community. Later on, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put a link up where you can join us as we move forward and build in an exclusive community for leaders, both experienced leaders and emerging leaders. But in my research, I came across this article, and it was written by Linda A. Hill. Miss Hill is a professor, I would say, I'm not sure if she's a doctor, but a professor at Harvard Business School and an expert in leadership, particularly in the areas of leading innovation and managing change in complex organizations. She's also widely respected for her insights into what makes a great leader. So I'm going to give it from her view. So first we talked about the traditional keys or key qualities, I would say, but I took it from her view, and I wanted to introduce this to you. So her focus is on inclusive leadership, collaboration, and fostering creativity. And she noted one of the keys to a great leader in what makes a great leader is one who fosters innovation. And she explains it as one who creates an environment where people feel empowered. There goes that word again, where people feel empowered to contribute their best ideas and work collaboratively. So, where people feel empowered, right? So, you have empowerment, but also the leader goes back to what I was speaking about earlier, where the leader is responsible for setting the environment or atmosphere for the team to function effectively. See, because if the leader doesn't do that, what it does, it diminishes the overall success of the team. So she says that one of the things that makes a great leader is one who fosters innovation, one who creates an environment where people feel empowered to contribute, to give their best ideas and work collaboratively. The second thing that she says, what makes a great leader is something which she says, one who builds community. Well, so this is all over what we've been talking about for an extended period of time. One who builds community. And by that, she says, one who cultivates inclusive environments where everyone can participate and their voices are heard. I love that. One who builds community. And we've been talking about building communities. We've been talking a lot over the last couple of months is how do we build an effective community, right? The importance of building community. Leaders building communities. And I told you about the Impact Leaders Connect community, where we come together, where a group of like-minded people can come together and grow together. So she says a great leader is one who builds communities, one who cultivates inclusive environments where everyone can participate and where voices are heard. The third point that she puts across in terms of what makes a great leader is one who embraces a growth mindset. One who embraces a growth mindset. And she explains this as one who views challenges and setbacks as learning opportunities, both for themselves and for their teams. I love that because, as I said, challenges and setbacks, if you are leading any team, whenever there are people involved, there may be challenges. And as a leader, you may experience some setbacks, but that doesn't mean that you should stop, right? You should look at it when you come across challenges and setbacks, you should look at them as a growth opportunity. You should look at it as a growth opportunity for both you and your team member. We can't quit when we come across a challenge or a setback. We can't have a fixed mindset. We say, "Oh, well, that's just how it is. That's just me." No, you have to have a growth mindset. Not only have it, but embrace it. The fourth component, as she says, a fourth point of what makes a great leader, she went on to say that one who inspires purpose. She's the one who aligns people around a shared vision and purpose that motivates them to excel. If I were to change one thing, I would say one who aligns people around a shared vision and purpose that inspires them to excel. See, my thought is that motivation is more internal as opposed to external. So I can't motivate you, but I can inspire you. So that's why I would change the word motivate to inspire. But it's about one who inspires purpose. I tell our students during our training, I ask them the question all the time: what is the key role of a leader? Whether we're training, sometimes I ask it if I'm coaching leaders, but we asked it in our training, our leadership training. What is the key role of a leader? And I'll ask you that. And if you can drop that in the chat, that would be fantastic so that we can have a discussion around that. But I encourage you to talk about that. Let's have a discussion about that. What is the key role of a leader? So daily, we have many roles as leaders, but what is the key role of a leader? I pose that question to you. Drop that in the chat. The last thing that she says in terms of what makes a great leader is one who builds trust. Oh boy, there goes that word again. Trust. She said one who builds trust, one who ensures psychological safety, one who fairness within teams, and creating a foundation for effective leadership. Who ensures those that they serve on their teams are authentic. You yourself as a leader being authentic. So those are just some of the things that I researched, and I love this article that was written in terms of what makes a great leader. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts in terms of what makes a great leader? I would love to hear what your thoughts are, whether you're watching this live or in replay. What are your thoughts as to what makes a great leader? Let us know. Let us know. So some of Linda Hill's, Professor Hill's key views include her approach to leadership, especially in today's interconnected, fast evolving work environment. Because as I mentioned earlier, if we were to ask someone 100 years ago, it would be quite different back then. Even if we were to ask someone in the 1980s, as I mentioned, to someone now, what makes a great leader? We may see some qualities that we still have now, but a lot of it might have changed or be enhanced because of where we are. Because the world that we live in is a fast evolving work environment. It's also more interconnected, and we're focused more on innovation. And the word that I love is collaboration. So that's it for now, folks. I hope this was helpful. Let's have a discussion and a dialogue into what you think makes a great leader. I've given you some of my thoughts. I've also given you some thoughts according to Professor Hill from the Harvard Business School. But I would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts as to what makes a great leader? So I want to thank you for this episode 220. If you would like to get a hold of us, if you'd like to send us an email, we would love to partner with you to help you develop yourself and your teams as it relates to leadership training, and also help you from a coaching perspective. If you're seeking a coach, a leadership coach, someone that is reliable, someone that is experienced, someone that is trustworthy, and someone that can help guide you, not tell you what to do, but someone that can ask you the right types of questions to get you from where you are to where you desire to be. Send us an email. Love to hear from you. info@jackmangroupllc.com. That email again is info@jackmangroupllc.com. If you would like to be part of our Impact Leaders Connect community, you can also, I'm going to put this in the chat here. You can join us here. Actually, I'm going to put it up on the screen and also put it in the chat. You can utilize this link to join us for our Impact Leaders Connect community. It's a community of growing. It's an evolving community. It's an exclusive community for more tenured leaders or emerging leaders. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner, I also invite you to join us. Folks, that's about it for now. I hope this was helpful. Remember to send your comments in as to what you think makes an effective or what makes a great leader. That's all for now. I will see you next week. May God bless you and your family. Please be safe. We will see you on next week. Next episode of